My bad. I'm not gonna cut that. It's future. I'm not gonna cut it. So hi guys, we're back for video number two. So on the first video, I did talk about the thing that I wish I knew before I start my freshman year. So today, which it's the same day, literally. So right now I'm gonna talk about choosing the right class. So everybody knows that choosing the right class is one of the hardest thing that you have to do as a student. But I'm just gonna tell you guys the way that I do it and the thing that I do take into account before I choose my class. So the first thing, so if you do have an advisor, so you might not even think about choosing the right class because he or she already planning everything ahead for you, and the only thing that you gotta do is go and pay your class and go to class. But I do have an advisor, right? But I choose to not let her do it for me because my schedule is a little bit unpredictable, and the thing that I want to do on the side take time. So I want to have time to do stuff that I want to do on the side, and also for my classes, which is not something that she can fully understand. I do know if I take the time and explain it to her, she might get it, but she won't get it the way that I do. So that's why I choose my classes for myself, if I can say that. Yeah. And one thing that you also need to keep in mind is if you do choose the classes by yourself, so do take in account that if you're looking to get your AA and you're taking your classes by yourself, so you might attempt to take fewer classes on each semester, which might accumulate and be the reason why you take more than 2 years to actually get your AA. Because to get your AA, I'll say like the general rules is like you go to a community college and you spend 2 years and you get it. If you do take the advisor plan, so yeah, you might take 2 years or maybe less, depends on what you're doing on the side. But if you're not gonna take your advisor plan, so you might take more time to actually complete your AA, complete your prerequisite, and graduate it on time. So you might not graduate on time, so keep that in mind. But do I care about it? I do care about it, but I also care about the stuff that I'm doing on the side. So that's why I choose my classes by myself. So one thing that I do consider when I'm taking my classes or want to choose the right class, even if there is no thing such as the right class, I don't even know what it means, frankly. But I think it's pretty much like the class that fits best your schedule. So that might be the right class, but I don't really know. But the subject is choosing your right class. So the first thing that I do take into account when I'm choosing the right class is the code of the class. So I'm pretty sure you do know about it, but if you're not choosing your class, or maybe if you don't really pay attention to it, you might not know what I'm gonna talk about. So when you have to choose the class, right? So those class has different denomination, if I can call it this way, but it's like a combination of letters and numbers, but the 3 first letters actually mean something, like the subject that you're gonna take the class in, like the field, and the other letters are different. They kind of like show you which the level of the class, if it's like a level 1 class, level 2 class. Is it hard to get? I think so, but I'm bad at explaining, at least this stuff. But that's pretty much what it is. So I was thinking Mac 1101, not Mac 1101, Mac 1105 C. C thing is a new thing. So the Mac pretty much like means that it's mathematic. It's like math related subject, and the 1105 means that it's kind of like different. It's gonna be different if I'm taking algebra, because algebra gonna be like another number like 20 something, and they will even change the 3 characters at the beginning, so it's not gonna be math again, so it's gonna be, no, I'm talking about calculus, so it's not gonna be math again, so it's gonna be pre something numbers. It's really weird, but this is the way that they do it. So if you're taking your classes, but the thing that some colleges has, but I'm pretty sure like all of them has it for like security purposes, so you can't take a class if you're not ready for it. Like for example, you can go and jump straight into level 3 class if you didn't take level 1 class. so you don't really have to worry about it. But I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. So yeah, but do pay attention to a class denomination. If you do go to the syllabus, like this is gonna be the first thing that you see. Mark 1105C if you're taking Mark 1105C. The second thing that I do take into account when I'm choosing the right class is where I am on the journey. So if I'm really excited about what I'm gonna learn, if I think I can dedicate it the next 4 months, or maybe I'll say 4 months, the next 4 months, like a full semester on it, learning about biology and biology only, so I will just go for it. But if I'm not ready for it and I'm like, I'm not really ready for studying right now, so I might take something like mathematics or maybe physics, which does not require like the same amount of studying as biology, so I'll just go for physics. But thinking about where you at on the journey, or like the things that you really want to learn right now is really important, because it will actually give you the energy when you have to go to wake up in the morning, or maybe go to class at night. So if you're not really excited about what you're gonna learn, I'm not gonna lie, you might have a really bad experience in that class. So please pay attention to what your body or maybe your mind is telling you about your class. So if you really don't feel like it, please don't sign up for class. And another thing that I do take into account when I'm choosing my classes, the right class, not my classes, is the activities. Is that activities? So I actually have like a bullet point list. Is that activity? Yeah. So the other thing that I do choose, and maybe like, yeah, oh my god. So the other thing that I do think about when I'm choosing the right class is the activities that I'm doing on the side. So which is pretty much like extracurricular activities, or maybe like jobs, or maybe internship. So fall semester, right? First got into college. Not fall semester, it was spring semester. Was it fall? No, yeah, fall semester. Fall semester. First got into college, taking 3 classes, different campuses. Didn't have a car, had an internship. I was doing all that on my fall semester, which was the first semester in college. So I had to learn how to navigate between all of it. Man, frankly, if I have the opportunity to do that again, am I gonna do it? Yes, I can do it, but taking class in different campuses is something that I will not do if I don't have to, because it's really challenging. But if I have to go to class, go to an internship, or maybe like go to a job, I will do it, because I need the experience, I need the money, so I'm gonna do it. But I will actually think about the way that I want to do it before going and do it, because the activities that you're doing on the side might take more time might require more time. Okay, the activities that you're doing on the side might require time to complete. So you have to think about a balance or find balance between the things that you want to do and the class that you're taking in the meantime. Like for example, for me, I have 2 jobs, about to start studying to get my RBT license, which is something that I need to keep getting my clinicals, because at the hospital where I'm working right now, so their contract is terminated, so I need to go and find something else, which for scribing. The thing about scribing is they can pretty much get terminated at any time. So if you don't have any certifications, it's gonna be really hard for you to get something in healthcare. So that's why I'm gonna study for my RBT license and get my license in. Use this license to get some clinicals and some money on the side. So yeah, let's go back to the subject. So the thing that I was talking about is thinking about the activities that you're doing on the side. So if you're doing a good amount of stuff, so please don't try to take a good amount of classes just because you want to graduate in time. So one thing that might happen, there's like different things that can actually happen if you do so. The first thing is you're failing all the classes just because you're not mentally prepared for it. The second thing that might happen is you doing poorly on those classes just because you were mentally not prepared for it again. And another thing that might happen is you not doing these activities that could have helped you on the side, like those activities that you're doing, like extracurricular, maybe like job. It's actually like you might actually like take out time to do those activities and put it on studying, which is good and not good at the same time, because people will view it differently. For example, if you know that you have to go to job and you don't go, you call out just because you have to study, it does say something about you. So please don't try to take a good amount of classes at the same time, because there's different things that might happen and those things are not going to go in your favor. So please don't do it. And the other thing that I do take into account when I'm choosing my classes is the amount of studying session that I'm going to have to do. For example, a day semester I'm only taking chemistry and chemistry lab, which is pretty much one class for the amount of credit that it is in total. But I do know the things that I'm going to learn in my chem lecture are going to be the things that are going to be covered in my chem lab. So I do know if I do like a 2 hours maybe studying session for my chem lecture, so I will pretty much be prepared to go to the lab, because it's going to be me applying the stuff that I just learned. So I will say choose the classes wisely. So if you're taking lab, so don't take the lecture in one semester and the lab in the other one, because for me it doesn't really make sense. But I don't know, if it does make sense for you, do it, please. But for me, the thing that does make sense is me taking the lecture and me taking the lab at the same time. So I won't have to study like the whole damn thing again for another semester. So that's what I'm doing right now. So if it's gonna take a good amount of studying session, so I think I'll go for fall semester, because fall is the longest. But one thing that I do realize is it does not really matter. So as long as you have time, or you balance your activities and all the stuff that you're doing, so you'll be fine. Because I was always afraid of taking math on the summer, because math was the shortest, but I did take math on the summer and I did pretty well on it. So I'm like, it does not really matter if the semester is long or not. So as long as you have time for it, or you dedicate time for it, so you should be able to go for it and get a really good grade in the class and get a really good experience. And the last thing that I do take into account before choosing the right class, or maybe when I'm choosing the right class, is the assignment load. I mean, like the amount of assignment that I'm gonna have to do for the class. So it does kind of like relate to the stuff that I did talk about, like the studying session and everything. But if you already know that you have to do a good amount of assignment, please don't take the class while you have a full-time job, part-time job, internship, and clinical. So if you're doing all that, please don't take a class that will give you a good that will require you to do a good amount of assignment, because you won't have time for it for sure. Because it does relate to the same thing that I talk about. I don't even know what I'm talking about that right now, but I just wanted to reflect it. So if you do have a list of assignments to do for one class, and you also have to go to a job, your full-time job, you also have to show up for our internship session, and you also have to study for these classes. So how are you gonna make it work? Knowing that you also have to take care of yourself, you have to sleep, you have to, I don't know, chill. So you won't have time to do all that, which is really important. So please, the thing that I will leave you before I close or maybe stop the camera is try to find balance between the things that you are doing and the things that you want to do. Try to see if they're gonna fit somehow. If they do, great. If they don't, try to find balance, because the balance is what's gonna help you to do the whole semester and have a really good experience in the class, and retain the notions that you're actually learning. So please, balance. So I hope that you guys liked the videos. If you guys didn't like it, feel free to let me know in the comment section, and if you guys really like it, feel free to also let me know in the comment section. And I'll see you on the third video that I have to record today, because I'm falling behind. Bye.